We are hearing Bhagavad Gita. We heard how situation happened, that war was inevitable because the Kauravas, they were unrighteous. So even Krishna tried to negotiate, but they would not agree. So their war was inevitable. And when Arjuna saw on the other side his relatives and those who helped him before, his martial art guru and his grandfather who took care of him in the position of father, so he became overwhelmed by seeing this, and he came to many reasons why it would not be good to fight. Krishna did not agree to his reasoning. Then Arjuna submitted himself to Krishna and asking his advice. I fully surrender unto you. Please you advise me what is good for me. Then Krishna first explained to him the difference between the soul and the body, and that the person is actually the soul and he cannot be killed at any time. So he should not mourn for this, but he should do his duty without being attached to the result. Nishkama Karma Yoga. According to one's conditioning, like according to gunas, one will have certain inclination and certain capacity and these things. So according to Vedic regulation, according to Shastra, he should do certain duties in according to his ashram and varna, and he should not do some other sinful activities, and he should also not do nothing, like avoiding doing his duties. Both those things are not beneficial for oneself or for others. But if one does, according to Varna Ashram Dharma, his duty, and without being attached to the result, then this will be beneficial for all, and one will purify his heart by doing such disinterested duty without any selfish interest. Then he will come to the transcendental platform. Then Arjuna asked Krishna, how does one who came to that transcendental position, how does he move in this world, how does he speak, what he does, all these things. So Krishna explained some symptoms that we heard. The two of them, today we'll go further. The third one, or maybe I already, no, this one, verse, second chapter, verse 58. Yada samharate chayam kurmonganiva sarvashah indriyanindriyarthebhyas tasya pragya pratishtita. When the wise man fully controls his senses from their objects, as the tortoise withdraws its limbs, his wisdom is well founded. Explanation: the senses are by nature prone to indulgence unrestrictedly in mundane pleasures, but the senses of the truly wise cannot wander about so freely, being subservient to the controlled mind. Just as the tortoise draws in its neck and feet and draws them out when necessary, so also the truly wise man with a firm determination can control his senses, that is to say, he can use them at his own free will. So he is not the slave of the senses. Whatever senses they want or mind, he will automatically go that direction, will fulfill. But one who is wise, one who realized his transcendental position, his mind is under his control and senses are under the control of mind. So if one can control mind, automatically senses are under control. And later Krishna will tell how this should be done. But the here difference is between conditioned soul, that he is the slave of the senses, but realized soul is the master of his senses, Goswami. He can direct them, he can use them at his own free will, and he will always use them for the in beneficial way, not for some harmful. So example is like tortoise can bring in and can bring out. Then Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehina rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. This is our Gurudev repeatedly used to explain this verse, and that we should see the explanation of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur on this verse. Translation is: worldly enjoyments of a person who practices abstinence are subdued, but not the attachment for the same. But even his attachment thus cease when the absolute person is realized. Our Gurudev said that one may refrain from enjoying some sense objects artificially. He will not eat. But that does not mean that his desire is removed. Like on Ekadashi fasting, the next day he will eat double because desire was not removed. But if one gets higher taste, means realizes absolute person, higher taste, then automatically he will not be attached to some lower taste. He will have no desire. Like someone eating molasses, it is not good, but still some sweetness is there. So some person is taking and another person will say, don't eat this, it is very bad for health and this. And he will say, yes, yes, I will not. But anyway, he will take secretly because nothing else. So at least some sweetness is there. But if you give him sugar candy, then tasting that, he will have no desire for that molasses. Like that, in this world, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in one song he wrote, there is no real pleasure in this world. It is mixed. It is not fulfilling and it is mixed with suffering. And it is temporary and all this. So there is some pleasure. So unless we get higher taste of service of Krishna, transcendental bliss, we cannot but take that pleasures of sense gratification. Although it is not good fully and also although it is reactionary, you will get suffering, but still we are taking because of not having higher taste. And even someone may try to resist, he can do for some time, but desire will remain. Then again he will come. So unless one gets higher taste, because that is some sweetness, some pleasure is there. So here, explanation, the process of abstinence from food to control the senses, so long as the physical body continues to exist, the 8 processes for concentration of mind of Ashtanga Yoga, such as forbearance, special restrictions and regulations, that is yama niyama, particular ways of sitting asana, regulated breathing pranayama, meditation, etc., and the practice of abnegation by self-denial are prescribed only for the ignorant, those who are unaware of their eternal relation with Krishna. But they do not hold good in the case of the truly wise man who is attracted by the divine beauty of the absolute truth. So for devotees who are seeing the absolute truth, they are attracted. For them, that is of no use. Ashtanga Yoga and these processes of abnegation means renunciation or detachment. There is no use for them. That is only for those who did not yet awaken their eternal relation with Krishna. So they are attracted by the divine beauty of the absolute truth, and I am that absolute truth, Krishna saying, and who does not, therefore, any longer feel the appetite for worldly enjoyment. Automatically it happens. Once one devotee in Hawaii, one ISKCON devotee, he asked our Gurudev, how is it that we see sometimes someone taking the position of pure devotee and then falling down again into sense gratification? Then Gurudev was at first surprised. What is the meaning of this? Someone will take the position of pure devotee. Because we might think, I will take sannyas, or someone takes sannyas, so I will be pure devotee. But by that you don't become pure devotee. You cannot take the position of pure devotee. You have to get pure devotion by either grace or by sadhana. When you get pure devotion, then you are pure devotee. You cannot just do some, like take sannyas and now you are pure devotee. Then Gurudev was surprised, what is the meaning of this? Then he said, one who realized Krishna, one who realized, it is impossible for him to have any attraction to this mundane enjoyment. It is totally impossible. So one who is actually pure devotee means he realized Krishna and he's fully dedicated to him. He saw Krishna, he tasted him, the service of his lotus feet, the transcendental taste. For him, he cannot be attracted to this world enjoyment. Impossible. Like one who takes sugar candy cannot be attracted to that. He has all knowledge and all bliss and everything he has. He can see through this. So he no longer feels the appetite for worldly enjoyment. Though rules of fasting to control the senses are prescribed for the ignorant, no eternal good can accrue from such a path. Can accrue, not accrue from such a path, unless it is based on the principle of divine love. Attachment for the divine goes pari passu, some Latin words, I think, with the corresponding detachment from the lower objects. When the fire of divine love is once enkindled with the realization of the real self and the knowledge of his relationship with the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, thirst for worldly enjoyment is automatically quenched. There is no more. Like that verse is from Bhagavatam. When one does real devotion to Krishna, then three things simultaneously will happen. Like when you are hungry, then with each morsel of food, intake of food, three things will simultaneously happen. Your hunger will be appeased to that degree, you will get satisfaction, and you will get nourishment. Suffering due to hunger will go, you will be satisfied, and nourishment. Three. Like that, when one really does real devotion, then his realization of Supreme Lord will increase. His devotion to him will increase, and automatically detachment to all unrelated to Krishna service will automatically happen. All simultaneously will happen. Gurudev said, if we are not seeing such a result in someone and doing so much bhajan, so-called bhajan, we can understand that there is some defect there in his surrender. He is doing it for some other purposes, like outwardly chanting and doing different things, but such results are not visible. Means there is some defect in his surrender. He's not doing it for Krishna satisfaction. Some bandha gyan is lacking or something is there. Bona fide guru can see. And also it is true that according to the degree we dedicate ourselves, to that degree we are getting this. Like when someone takes one morsel of food, that does not mean that he is now fully fed, fully happy. No, up to that degree. So then the more he will take, then he will come. Like that, when someone does devotional practice, he will get up to that extent. Something is there also, and gradually it will increase. And another example is there in Bhagavatam. Jajati Maharaj. I will not tell the whole story because we will hear it when we will come in Bhagavatam to that story. Not story, it is not fictitious, it is fact, historical fact. Jajati Maharaj, he exchanged his old age due to, he was cursed by Shukracharya to have old age, so he could not enjoy sexual enjoyment. But that was, his wife was daughter of Shukracharya. So Jajati said, this will be curse for your daughter also. Then Shukracharya said, okay, if any of your sons want to exchange their youth for your old age, then you may get. So Jajati went. He had, I think, 4 sons. I think 4. And 3 of them did not want to give. They were not ready. No, we have to enjoy. If we will not enjoy, then how we will realize and all this. But the youngest one, Puru, he was ready to obey his father, to fulfill the desire of others, so he was the most pious. So he changed, and Jajati got youth, and for 1000 years he was enjoying sexual pleasure with his, I think her name was Devayani. One was Sarmishta, one was Devayani. 1000 years unreserved, because he had everything, he was king. So no obstacles, nothing, for 1000 years. Then after 1000 years, he understood this is not the procedure to fulfill the lust. He said, the more I try to enjoy, the more enjoyment desire increased, and my thirst was not quenched. Then he took shelter of Krishna and became devotee and got bliss and could easily give that up. Then he also spoke to his wife about his realization, and wife also accepted devotion to Krishna. She also became devotee. So there, Jajati Maharaj gave that example. If you put ghee on the fire will not be extinguished, it will increase. You cannot extinguish fire with putting ghee, it will only increase. So here also, that thirst will not be quenched. This is not the procedure to remove that, because here we heard that the senses are by nature prone to indulge unrestrictedly in mundane pleasures. They go, but you never can quench that thirst by indulging, by fulfilling that. So our Parangurudev then gave further to this example. It is not there in Bhagavatam, but our Parangurudev gave. He said, if you put ghee on fire, then the fire will increase. But then Parangurudev said, but if you put like a huge amount of ghee, like 100 kg or something, at a time to the fire, then it will finish the fire. Like that, when one has desire for Supreme Lord, for his service, strong desire for his service, then through that he can fulfill all his desires. All his desires will be fulfilled and his thirst will be quenched. You cannot quench that thirst for happiness by indulging in material sense enjoyment, but only by getting huge amount of ghee, means absolute reality, absolute truth, absolute person, complete reality. When you are in contact with him through service, then that will quench. So these processes of dry renunciation, they are only meant to help those persons to realize the dangerous, or what is the real position when one is under the control of the senses, and what kind of disturbance is always there. But if they will restrict, they will understand, oh, there is some peace, and I'm not controlled like this, so that they will realize. But that will not last long. By Gyan or by yoga process, that will not last long, because that desire is still not quenched. Only you are like getting some relief from that turbulence of sense enjoyment. But the actual solution is when you are connected with Krishna through service, that will fully remove that, and naturally, without any difficulty. By getting higher taste, you can easily give up lower taste. Now, next verse. Yatato hi api kaunteya purushasya vipaschitaha indriyani pramathini haranti prasabam manah. Here also Bhaktivinoda Thakur told that when one is attached to Supreme Lord, detachment from a sense object is automatic. Rag, this vairagya, renunciation, has two meanings. One is detachment to non-eternal things, and Parampurusha, Saraga, something, Parampurusha Visheshata Saraga. When one is attached to Parampurusha, means Supreme Person, that is also another meaning of Vairagya. For, O son of Kunti, Arjuna, the turbulent senses forcibly overpower the mind of even a wise person who toils for salvation. It happened. There are examples in Bhagavatam. Sobari Rishi, he was doing Gyan for 10,000 years in water, but he was attracted by fish. And then he married. And Vishwamitra, 60,000 years yoga, but he was attracted to Menaka, Apsara. So it is not easy. Not easy. Even if one is he wants to attain liberation, it is not easy unless you get higher beauty. Like that in Ramanuja's biography, that person, he was so attached to his wife that he could not remove his eyes from her face. Even when she was walking front, he was also walking in front of her, but seeing backwards and going backwards because he always had to see the face of wife. But then Ramanuja, he became compassionate on him, and he said, I will show you. No, he asked him, why you are walking like this? Then he said, what I can do? I am so attached to the beauty of my wife. I cannot but look at her constantly. Then Ramanuja said, if I would show you something more beautiful, you are interested? Then he said, yes. Then he took him to Ranganath, Vishnu, Narayan, and he prayed to Narayan, O Narayan, you are all merciful. You please once show your actual Swarup, transcendental form, to this person. Please, I request you. He was praying. When pure devotee is praying, then Krishna will hear. So really he showed him that. And then after seeing that transcendental beauty, then that attraction went away. And he became a devotee of Narayan. And his wife also became devotee of Narayan. So it is possible, it is there. Also we see in the case of Ajamil, he was Brahmin. And he was married. He had parents. And he was doing all Brahminical duties, yagya, everything. But one day, when he went to the forest for taking that wood for yagya on the order of his father, he saw one man with a prostitute and he became attracted and he got that desire to be with her, and he was with her, and he misbehaved with his parents, he left his wife, he took all the money and did all these things. Brahmin. So it is not so easy. But ultimately, because he was pious and had Sukriti, ultimately, he called Narayan and they rescued him. And then he understood what I did. I did heinous sins, but I was rescued by glimpse of Narayan name. Then he went to worship Narayan and he got the service of Narayan. So the higher taste we have to get, then that will be safe. Otherwise, by this only detachment, it is dangerous. And also, if we give indulgence, that will also not help. It will increase all the time. You can never quench your thirst. Here, Krishna is telling, Krishna is all-knowing. He knows everything. So it is the truth, it is fact. O son of Kunti, Arjuna, the turbulent senses forcibly overpower the mind of even a wise person who toils for salvation. Explanation. O son of Kunti, the strength of the alluring sense enjoyments is so very great that even those who are really wise, trying to control their senses by following the path of abstract concentration and knowledge, that is meditation and jnana, are at times swept away by sense storms. But there is no such danger in the path of unalloyed devotion to me, the absolute person. But it should be genuine devotion, real surrender and genuine devotion. Then according to that degree, how much will do? One will do that much realization, he will get that much higher taste and that much detachment. But if someone takes the position of pure devotee, that will not work. That was also shown. It will not work. It is not possible. Devotion must be done under the guidance of pure devotee with surrender, with submission. Then that will actually go to Krishna. That service will go to Krishna and one will get the result. But if there is some missing link, something is not right, then that will not be actual service of Krishna and the actual result we cannot get. Or if we do some offense to Vaishnava, that will also be detrimental. Tani sarvani samyamya yukta asita matpara vashe hi yasendriyani tasya pragya pratishtita. A devotee, having controlled all the senses, should live fully devoted to me, for his wisdom is unshaken whose senses are under control. We heard day before yesterday about Srila Jajabar Maharaj and our Padmanabha Maharaj. They practiced this submission to Guru, who is a pure devotee of Krishna, and automatically they could get control over the senses, although it was in their karma there, in the destiny, in the astrological, that it was already there confirmed. But even that can be changed by the devotion to Supreme Lord. explanation. Therefore, he who devotes all his senses to the service of the Absolute Person by having recourse to Yukta Vairagya, that is to say, genuine asceticism, as distinguished from Falgu Vairagya, that is to say, pseudo-asceticism, is a person possessing pure intelligence. Yukta Vairagya means not dry renunciation, that is Falgu Vairagya. Falgu is one river in India. On the surface you will not see any water, looks like dry, but if you little dig through the sand, then water will be there. Like that, I may outwardly renounce, but inside so many desires are there. But Yukta Vairagya means when one will see all the objects as meant for Krishna satisfaction. So he will not renounce or give up, but he will engage everything in the service of Krishna in a way that is favorable for the service of Krishna. He will take prasad and everything, Yukta Vairagya. And he will not renounce. Like Falgu Vairagyas, they will renounce even if you give them tulsi that offer to the lotus feet of Bhagavan. They will think, no, this is also material. And all the articles used in the service of Krishna, they will think this is material. They will want to reject. But devotees are not rejecting. They are accepting prasad from Krishna and using everything for the service of Krishna, knowing everything belongs to him. It should be used for his service. So such a person is possessing pure intelligence, one who is pure devotee. Mind is always seeking enjoyment from the phenomenal world through the physical senses, with the result that its thirst for enjoyment is ever on the increase, like the blazing fire fed by clarified butter. I didn't know this example will come, otherwise I would wait. So you see Bhagavatam, 9th canto, 19th chapter, 14th verse. This is this from Jajati Maharaja's verse. It will increase. It will increase. I am the Lord of the senses, Hrishikesh, as well as of the phenomenal world. So he who serves me with Yukta Vairagya is said to be truly self-controlled. No one else. One who engages everything. Sarvo padavi nirmuktam tatparatena nirmalam hrishikena hrishikesha sevanam bhakti ruchate. When one is free from all false egos and he understands, I belong to Krishna and Krishna is the master of all senses, so all my senses should be engaged in his service. This is called devotion. He is truly self-controlled. He will have mastery over senses by the grace of Krishna. Jnanis yogis, they think by my own effort I can achieve this. But Buddhists also, they think they will get by own effort, but it is not possible. Unless you surrender to Krishna and getting his mercy, getting his strength, it will be impossible to control the senses fully and permanently. She wrote something here. 1 second. If I have a lower taste, not even a glimpse of taste for chanting, how is it possible to do things for the pleasure of Krishna? This is her question. There is one verse in Bhagavatam that those who are wise, they will give up bad association and will associate with realized souls, because realized souls, by their realized words, realized knowledge, they will cut through our ignorance, our attachment, and all this. It is impossible for any conditioned jiva to come out from lower taste and get attention to devotion to Krishna by their own efforts. Impossible. You have to take bath, as Prahlad Maharaj said, you have to take bath in the dust of lotus feet of pure devotee, one who is tasting Krishna, not one who only like he believes and or he read some books or something and he has some faith and by logic and like this. That will still be beneficial, but it will not be so influential on us. It will not touch us so much as when we come in contact with someone who is a realized soul, who is actually tasting Krishna, who has no any other desires. So by coming in touch with such a person, then this inspiration to give up lower taste and to serve Krishna will come to us. And then we have to practice under his guidance and in his association. If association direct physical is not available, then we have to go through devotional books or hear Harikatha in recordings, and also we have to follow the thought of that sadhu. By that we can have association with him even from a distance. Our Gurudev told, if we stay very near to sadhu, but like bugs, we want to suck his blood, then we will not be in sadhu sangha. But if we are very far away, but we are following that thought, what sadhu is thinking? Sadhu is always thinking how I can serve Krishna. Following that thought, we will be associating with sadhu, and that will help. And then we have to practice, and we have to practice based on faith. Taste will not come immediately. That is why Rupa Goswami, we are Rupanugas. We are very proud to say we are Rupanugas, but we are not practicing what Rupa Goswami told us. That because of that, we are not getting the actual result. Rupa Goswami wrote in Upadeshamrita Syat Krishna Nama Charitadi Sitapavida, that verse, Krishna is very sweet. Krishna's name, form, attributes, pastimes are very sweet, more sweet than sugar candy. But as a person who is having jaundice and biliousness on his tongue, he is unable to taste the sweetness of sugar candy. Not because sugar candy is bitter, no. It is due to biliousness on my tongue. I'm tasting it bitter. But taking sugarcane juice is the only medicine for curing the jaundice, to subdue that biliousness, pitta. Then, the more that biliousness will be removed, then we will get the taste, original taste of that sugar candy. Like that, we became averse to Krishna and we wanted to enjoy this world, and we got this disease of ignorance, avidya. Avidya like jaundice, so much, and tendencies and everything. So we are not tasting Krishna's name, form, attributes, although they are sweetest, but we are not tasting. Impossible for us. But by past good, eternal good deeds, Sukriti, we get in touch with bona fide realized soul. Then that faith is awakened and they give us the service of Krishna. They give us Harinam and all instructions for the service of Krishna. Then we have to practice based on faith. It will not be based on taste. Like when you go to doctor will give some medicine. It will not be good taste. But you have to take that medicine to cure yourself. Based on that faith and based on knowing that benefit, you will have to take it, although taste is not good. Then once you will be cured, then it will. So like that, in the beginning, we have to take Harinam, chanting Harinam, not as like, oh, I'm enjoying so much. Some devotees also, they like to show outwardly, oh, I'm Hare Krishna, I'm fully happy. But it may not be true transcendental happiness. It is shown by some other activities. If really I am tasting Harinam so much, that will be shown by some other symptoms also in my daily life and like this. And Trinada Pisunichana will be there, Amanina, Manadina, all this. This is only Nishta stage, not Ruchi stage. Nishta stage I am not having symptoms, natural symptoms, but I am trying to show how much I am devoted to chanting and how much I am happy to chant. Or I may try to enjoy kirtan and chanting, and I'm a great devotee like Haridas Thakur, I'm chanting so much. That is all enjoyment, not actual seva. Actually, taste is not in the beginning. Maybe Krishna, to encourage some beginner sadhakas, he may sometimes give some drop of some higher taste just to remove doubts and to encourage that person, but that will not be permanent. It will not always stay, and other symptoms will not be there. So we cannot take that I got some glimpse, something, now I'm realized, so now I'm guru, I will rescue the whole world. That is not the case. At the beginning, we have to take with faith. Rupa Goswami told, faith in Guru, Vaishnava, Shastra, with faith, and knowing this is medicine we have to take. Regularly, we have to take that medicine, whether we like it or not. We have to do it regularly. Then, through this process with faith and surrender, then that ignorance, avidya, jaundice will be removed, then we can get. And there is a degree of that. But we should not be so eager or so counting or so dependent on taste in these stages. Or some happiness, and others are very happy chanting, but I'm not. That is a good sign. If you can see, I have no taste for chanting Harinam and you regret, that is a good sign. It is healthy sign. It is the sign of sincerity. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself showed this. He said, I'm seeing how merciful you are, Krishna, I'm seeing. And I'm not seeing any fault from your side. But I am so unfortunate. I'm so diseased that I have no liking. I have no taste for chanting your name. This is a sign of sincerity. And such a person will be humble, and such a person will get the help of Guru, Vaishnava and Krishna. They will encourage him. You go on. You do sadhana. It will take some time. You take with faith. You regularly do all this. then such a person will get all help. And the more he will do, the more he will get removal of anarthas and aparadas and ignorance, and the more taste will come. And another thing is, if we are in association with other devotees who are advanced devotees, who are already tasting Harinam, tasting service of Krishna, if we are in their association, unitedly, congregationally chanting with them, then that atmosphere, that their influence will give us some strength, some encouragement to do. Even you can get some taste by their grace that will come. So if we are humble and sincere and really we are giving our effort, then we will get all help. Like that bird. She was very small, but she said, no, I will dry up this ocean. And she did her effort. I will dry up. She took one drop from the ocean and took it there. And all were laughing at her. Oh, you are crazy. How you will dry ocean? You are such a small, you can never. But she was not listening. She did her effort. What is her effort? Then when this word came to Garuda, that there is some your relative bird there everyone is laughing at him, he's doing this job. Then when Garuda came, he came there and he told to ocean, you give that eggs back, otherwise I will drink you up. Then immediately ocean gave those eggs. Like that, our Gurudev told us, when we are sincerely doing our effort, our duty, then seeing our sincere effort, Guru will come at our back, Vaishnava will come at our back, Krishna will come at our back, they will help us. And by their grace, it will be possible. What is otherwise impossible, it will be possible. You also have that example of that squirrel in Ramchandra's Lila. She was also serving by her capacity. She went to the ocean to wet her this skin, that fur, and then she went to the beach and she rolled on the ground and took some dust, the sand on her body, and then she threw it to the ocean to build a bridge to Lanka. She gave her effort for the service of Ramachandra. And all were laughing at her, even Hanuman, as a lila. He said, you are joking with us. We are throwing big stones, and even I'm throwing mountains in the sea. Everything is going down, and you are joking with us. But Ramachandra knew the heart of that squirrel. She's a devotee. She wants to serve me. So Ramchandra went to her and blessed her. And he caressed on her head. That is why those 3 lines are here. Black, white, black. He saw that devotion. And then he rebuked Hanuman. He said, you are throwing big mountains, but all are going down. But her sand is floating on the sea. So who is doing better? Then Hanuman got that hint from Ramchandra and the squirrel. She was a pure devotee. Then he understood. Then he wrote Ram name on the stone. Ram. Ram name is same as Ram. He is omnipotent. Nothing is impossible. Stone will never float on the water. But by Ram's grace, everything is possible. He is God. So he wrote Ram. Ram name is not different from Ram. Then that stone floated there. So we have to give our effort, sincere effort also. Not the Guru will do everything. The Guru is helping us, but we also have to do our effort. If we do sincerely, not pretending, not acting, I am so much Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, I am great devotee. Nothing will be there. Krishna is in the heart of everyone. He knows everything. When I'm sincere, if I will say, I have no taste for chanting. No attraction. It is true fact. But you are so merciful, Krishna. You are so graceful, and we give our effort. We want to follow the instruction of Guru. Then they will come at our back, and we can overcome by their grace all anarthas, all offenses, everything. Then taste will also come. But taste will not come to pretentious person. We have to be sincere, and sincerity also means we will do our effort. We will take that medicine, which Gurudev gave us. That medicine we will take regularly. We will take. That is the sign of sincerity. If we will do, then they will help us, and it will be possible. So, such chanting without taste is giving pleasure to Krishna. Does he accept it from such a sadhaka devotee? Yes. Krishna is very satisfied with, he told himself in the Gita, we will come to that. Api chet suduracharo bhajate mamananya bhag sadureva samantavya sambhyak vyavasati hisa kipram bhavati dharmatma shashvat chantim nigachati konteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. Krishna encouraged all sadhakas of pure devotion. He told Arjuna, you tell to everyone, to all other worshippers of demigods, to karmis, jnanis, yogis, to everyone you tell with loud voice. One who took shelter of me, he is only exclusively trying to serve me. He is practicing to serve me, even though sometimes due to some past bad habits force, he may do something wrong. Still, you should not consider that. You should consider him as a sadhu, as a properly determined person in proper direction, and I will rescue him from those things because he will regret, he will repent. No need for any other atonement. I will rescue and keep Bhavati Dharma. Very quickly he will become fully righteous, and he will get eternal bliss. Shashvat Chantim Nigachati. He will get eternal bliss. So Arjuna, you go everywhere and declare, my devotee will not perish. I am protecting him. So why Krishna will not be satisfied with sadhana bhakti? Bhakti is bhakti. Bhakti is devotion to Krishna. That person has faith in Krishna. He is sincerely trying to serve him. So Krishna will be happy. How he is happy with this quarrel and all this? Krishna is happy with sadhana bhakti. Krishna is happy with bhava bhakti, and Krishna is happy with prema bhakti. They are all bhakti for his satisfaction on different stages, but he's happy, and that sadhaka will also get that fruit of devotion according to degree. And in sadhana bhakti, that kleshagni, all miseries will be removed, and shubhada, all auspiciousness such devotee will get. It is the result of sadhana bhakti. So Krishna is satisfied with sadhaka. That is why he warned, if anyone will criticize even sadhaka devotee for some wrong activities due to, not willingly, but due to pressure of some things, and he's regretting, if someone will criticize such devotee, Krishna will be fully dissatisfied with him. It will be Vaishnava aparat. So if it is Vaishnava aparat, then Krishna is satisfied with that Vaishnava. He's a Vaishnava, he's a sadhu. So Krishna is happy with, like when one child is trying to learn to walk, and he's walking few steps and then falling down, and again he's trying, standing up. Will mother not be happy with such trying? child who is trying to learn to walk, she will be happy by seeing his effort. He's trying to learn to walk. But if someone is only sitting, not trying, then how she can be happy? But she will be happy with one who is giving that effort. And then he will walk like that. By sadhana bhakti, we will get bhava bhakti. You cannot get it otherwise. That kriti sadhya bhavet sadhya sa sadhana vida nitya siddhasya bhavasya prakatyam hridi sadhyata. By engaging all your senses in the service of Krishna under the guidance of bona fide Guru, you will attain bhava bhakti. So that is also one stage. Krishna is happy. But the thing is, we have to do what Gurudev told us sincerely, without pretending, without showing, without trying to impress others, but sincerely doing. Krishna knows everything. Gurudev knows everything. He's in my heart. He knows everything. He will give all strength if I'm sincere. Then only by that strength, by Guru, Vaishnava and Bhagavan's strength, it is possible to overcome all anarthas. Only by your own, impossible. Gurudev told two fingers there. One is his grace, one is our effort to serve. Those who will give their sincere effort, they will attract the grace and get Krishna. So our sincere effort should be there. Tomorrow we will hear further how Krishna is explaining to Arjuna.